everyone. Welcome to Battle of the Sexes. Wait, wrong show. Welcome to Ladies Night. Battle of the Sexes is on Sunday, y'all. We were just talking about Battle of the Sexes. That's what happened. So, everyone, welcome to Ladies Night. It's your favorite ladies panel. I got intrigued by me and Mama Goddess here with me this morning. We took a little mini break, but we are back. We're back, y'all. Okay? And we got a lot to talk about. But before we get started, I do want to say to all those families in Louisiana that got, actually, it wasn't just Louisiana because she went over to New York. So to everybody that was affected by Hurricane Ida, we send our thoughts and our prayers out to all of you guys. We are hoping that you are getting the help that you need and are able to get supplies and everything else. I know there's a lot of people from Louisiana here in Texas right now, you know, waiting to go back and doing whatever they can do. So guys, if you can, feel free to look and see which ways in which you can help everybody that may need your help with Hurricane Ida relief. Hey, Miss Lackey, welcome, sis. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to hit those thumbs up. And if you can share us out, please feel free to do so also. Okay. We're going to get into tonight's topics. We're going to get this started. We're going to go right into it. We're going to dive on in. So, first things first, we're going to talk about Koby Bryant. Now, people will not let this man rest in peace. And I need people to just let him rest in peace and leave it alone. Leave it alone. So this week it came out that there was a bodybuilder that reached out to Koby Bryant and told him, "Hey, Andrea, welcome. We love you too, girl." There was a bodybuilder that reached out to Koby whilst Koby was alive and had suggested to him that if he paid him $3 million, let me just make sure I got that correct, $3 million, he would kill his rape accuser. This really happened, y'all. It came out that Koby Bryant's, people did inform authorities of this letter that was written to Koby at the time. However, this really did happen. Someone thought that he could reach out to Koby and be like, "Hey man, I got you. I'm gonna kill your accuser. No problem. It's easy. I can do it. Just throw me $3 million and we good." Okay, that's exactly what my man said to Koby. Okay, I cannot make this stuff up for love or money, y'all. I promise, verbatim. Okay, if you want me to forward you the story, I can do that also after the show. So I just want to say welcome to the 5 wonderful, amazing people that are in the house. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up on your way in, and if you can share us out, please feel free to do so. Okay, so ladies, give me your thoughts and opinions on Mr. Koby Bryant and the bodybuilder and the $3 million.
I feel like, the same. Just let that man rest. And what's the purpose of this whole story? What's the purpose of you bringing it up now, all of these years later? What are you looking to gain out of this?
Right.
Did you even complete the task at hand? Did you?
And then you're incriminating yourself in conspiracy. So
what's the reason?
Maybe COVID made him fall on hard times, and he probably lost his place to stay, and he needs 3 hots and a cot. He needs somewhere to lay his head, I think.
Maybe he thought Koby was gonna go for it, and really give him some money to do it. I don't know. People are cray these days.
Yeah, but I don't know why.
They ain't going. This is still want to try to go after him for. I don't even know if he wanted to go after this. I don't know. Like the story is just, to me, it's just left wide open. So it's like, what's the purpose? What do we?
There is none.
Why? What's the why?
I don't know what the why is. He sounded a little crazy and delusional to me. And if he really thinks that Koby was just gonna be like, sure, bro, let me just throw you $3 million, you know,
Right.
that's nothing.
Is it a call Koby out and said that he lied? He was gonna give him the money. Like
I
Koby's
don't
not
understand why
here
it's surfacing now though. Like
Yeah.
why bring it up now? Like after all this time, you know, Koby's passed away, God rest his soul, you know, he's been passed away for a while now. So why would we bring this up to the media now? Somebody wants to get paid.
So that's what it's looking like. But like you said, you're incriminating yourself. What do you? Why would you confess to something like this?
Right.
Did the person die? Did you get him?
Right. We don't know. Like,
That's what I say. The story is just so left wide open. So it's like, what, girl? What? You know?
I don't know. That's the latest on Koby. I don't know why it's that way, but Bodybuilder man felt like he was gonna have a payday,
Not
and
bodybuilder, man.
he did. Hey, Twin Jerseys, welcome. Nick, what's your thoughts and opinions on it?
Oh, I said that when you went off the camera.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I was just saying, like, why would you incriminate? I don't know. It's not enough to kind of go on the story about what's going on. I guess kind of formulate an opinion. But if it came from Bodybuilder man, like, why are you talking about this, sir? Like, you must need a place to stay, and you want to go to jail.
Because that's where your place to stay is going to be at, in jail.
Okay. Shoot.
I'm mad at y'all calling him Bodybuilder man.
I mean, I don't know what his name is, child. He in the headlines this say Bodybuilder. So I'm just gonna keep rolling with Bodybuilder man.
Bodybuilder man.
Attention deficit order is real, especially amongst those who feel entitled after years, think he is Koby mentally at this point. Yeah, I agree. That probably is exactly what the situation is.
Oh, he thinks he's Koby? Is that what?
He may, girl.
I don't know if I'm reading this right, but it says after years think he is Koby. You mean he thinks he is Koby at this point? Or
Thinks he's Koby and then he can get all that money like Koby?
Right.
Yeah, like
probably get the whole to stay. Or whatever. We'll see. We'll see how the story unfolds, if it unfolds any further. Because I don't know if the man went to jail or what. I don't know. I just know that Koby's people turned in the letter to authorities. So I don't know if they followed up or they're just now finding him or what the case may be. But it's in the news somehow. So we'll follow the story. We'll see what happens if anything else comes to light. And we'll make sure that you guys are all fully informed with Mr. Bodybuilder man. Okay, so we're going to move on to our next topic. Our next topic is Miss Raven Symone. So Miss Raven Symone, as you all know, she plays the character Raven Baxter on the Disney Channel. Okay, for that, Raven. I used to watch that when I was younger. But anyway, so that's a Raven, big show. And they're now doing a spin-off.
I'm too old for that. It's above me.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's old.
I don't know her. I know Olivia, but that's about it.
Oh. Well, they decided they're going to do a spin-off spin-off show from that one, from when she was a teenager to her now being all grown up. Disney apparently approached her and asked her, because everyone that knows Raven Symone knows that Raven not recently, I think like last year or something, she came out with the fact that she's a lesbian, and she got married to her girlfriend, now wife. So that all came about, and Disney approached her and said, does she want Raven Baxter to be a lesbian in the show? Raven Symone turned around and said no. She turned around and said she didn't want Raven Baxter to be a lesbian because she doesn't believe that her character should be trying to emulate her and her life now. And, you know, Raven Baxter should be Raven Baxter because Raven Baxter is Raven Baxter is Raven Baxter, according to Raven Symone. So let's talk about it. Do you guys think that Raven made a good decision? Do you think that Disney should have asked her that? Or what are your thoughts and opinions on how this all came about?
Yeah, I think that they're doing too much with this whole sexuality thing with Disney. Like, these are kids, and I guess I want to walk that fine line, right? Because we do push heterosexual agendas onto our kids, because every princess in the book is getting kissed by some prince and getting saved.
Right.
So there is an absence of homosexuality in the children arena. So then I'm like, well, what do we do? Do we pull it all out? Like, do we take away the love story in it? Maybe. I don't know, because you do have to kind of make things equal, or you know, across the board when you're doing these things. So if you are pushing out the heterosexual agenda, then you do equally need to push the other side, right? So I do feel like maybe they need to separate that whole knight in shining armor or coming in to save the day, maybe.
But I think I guess Disney's just trying to be inclusive, right? Like the rest of the world.
I feel like
the world is trying to be.
I'm glad that she made a decision that she didn't want to roll her personal life into a fictional character. But I mean, as an advocate of, you know, the Rainbow Coalition, I do feel like their presence is very much absent in the media. Now, if it should be present with children, that's a big question, because if that's the case, we can't be hypocritical and say that heterosexuality should be present either, you know. So I don't know. It's such a fine line. I cannot make a decision on where I stand on this because I can see it on both sides.
On both sides. I mean, my thing is, I mean, it's a reality for a lot of kids now that they have two mommies or two daddies.
Yeah.
So I guess it does go in the
especially with like science and pregnancies. Like most of the people that go through the IVF with me are homosexual couples trying to get pregnant and have babies. So these people are growing up in these households, but their household structure is not present anywhere in their life other than what they see, I guess, at home. I don't know. So it's Nita.
I mean, I think it's hard. I guess you gotta teach kids about it because it's very much present in every day. But I'm like Meek. I think I sit on the fence with this. I remember when it first came about in the news and parents were in uproar because I think the first cartoon came out and there was, you know, two of the same sex parents in it, and you know, and I remember everybody freaking out about it. And I remember feeling kind of like, well, why would you put this out there to these kids? They're just kids. Like, let kids be kids. We don't need to educate them on this yet. You know, I mean, they'll learn it as they get older, but why can't we just let kids be innocent and let them just do what they need to do as kids? Okay, they don't really need to figure out relationships yet. They can wait till they're older. But then I see the other side of, there are so many kids that are in this situation, and there's so many kids that don't understand it because they're like, well, I have a mommy and a daddy.
Well, no, the other side is that they're getting pushed an agenda to stay straight because they get the prince and the princess, the male and female. They get fed that they're kissing, they're dating, the man is trying to win the girl's heart, and the girl is like paying him dust, and she gets into some kind of trouble. And in runs the king or prince and rescues her. So it's pushed into, this is how you fall in love. This is how you structure your life, your feelings about someone that you want to spend your life with, because then they go, what all of them say at the end, they live happily ever after, like, and we all know that's bullshit, right? Because nobody lives happily ever after. So that's why I'm so slow to speak, I think, because we are definitely pushing a heterosexual agenda, and we're privileged in that way that other people aren't.
Yeah. Go, Nita, you've been so quiet. I'm
Like,
going to hear what she's going to say. Because Nita been sitting there like.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nita.
Just when it comes to Disney in general,
Oh Lord, here she goes.
Disney pushes a lot of things, like not just the heterosexual agenda, but they also push, you know, the adult situations, blackface,
slavery,
violence.
Yep.
They've been pushing a lot of things, but these things actually, happen. And sexuality now is actually happening. So I can grasp the concept of the absence of homosexuality. However, I'm on the fence with it because I feel like the innocence in me wants Disney to still be innocent.
Yeah.
But it's not. And I think that's the reality that I need to grasp personally, because there is an absence, I can't believe I'm saying this, of homosexuality, but it's like, does there need to be filled with homosexuality? But like I was saying, there are, situations with two mommies and two daddies and stuff like that. But then it goes to the point where, well, how will Disney start to display this type of life? Because you got two mommies, you got two daddies, but then you got the way the trans, gender works is you got two moms and two daddies, but one of them still has, or both still have their parts they were born with. So then you have two mommies, two daddies, and one of them is pregnant. So it's like, how is this going to display that? Because people do have those situations. And then you have the studs, then you have the lesbians, and then you have the males, you have the tops, and you have the bottoms. Like, how is this going to display all of this through characters and cartoons? And how far will they go with this? Because some of these sexualities do go left. So it's like, how much of this you're going to expose to the kids at this point? And how much what's the word I'm looking for? How much of it will be subliminal? Because Disney likes to throw those in there too. Like, they have like little stuff that only adults would understand, but because it's subliminal, the kids won't really understand it, but it'll be in their subconscious. So it's like,
but the whole like pushing things on the children, I feel like the gay friends that I have are like, yeah, I've been pushed heterosexuality my entire life through TV, through music, through everything. And I'm not heterosexual. So how can you say that this is turning your kids or, projecting? Because if that's the case, then I would have been straight, And so that's why I just really can't decide. Like, I hate that is like that. I don't know what to do other than pull everything out. Like, nobody's fucking nobody. We just going to save the day. And
facts.
Like, they don't need to be seeing none of that. No way. Like,
well, you know what?
Yeah.
It's blame like Disney, because you got Nickelodeon, you got Adult Swim, you got porn that's easily accessible nowadays. Then you have YouTube, Twitter. I heard Twitter is on a whole other thing now. It's not Twitter.
Yeah.
It used to be Twitter, been Twittering, and it's been going down on Twitter. And a lot of our kids have Twitter accounts, and they be on there. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of they shut it down a little bit, but it's there. People who play games, Twitch, all those gaming stuff. People on it, like it's everywhere. So nowadays you can't just one social media or media outlet because it's everywhere. So just for me personally, Disney, I feel like I was raised up on Disney. It wasn't even innocent when I was looking at it, but I was a child. So it wasn't just
right.
It was in my face, but it wasn't in my face. Nowadays, Disney is like,
yeah.
This is a pussy. Like, this is what it is now. It's just like, oh my God, get out of my face.
Yeah.
So, like Up. I don't know if you've ever seen that Disney movie Up, but it was so much tragedy in the beginning of the movie. It was like, wait a minute, Disney, you're not about this. But again, that was them just pushing it all in our face. Like, so we didn't ask for it, and they didn't ask us if they wanted to give it to us. They were just like, here,
giving it to you.
If they did it with, homosexuality, it's just like, I don't know. It's just some things you want to just ease on into, like maybe one character at a time. Don't
just. They will have to gradually become inclusive. Like is it Andrea was saying that she could appreciate Disney's respecting, I guess, her identity and who she is, and seeing did she want to incorporate that, because it is something that's missing. Given opportunity, I guess, is good and fair, but it's just like Pandora's box. Like Nita says, what are you gonna have the flamboyant guy that's just like out here being extra, or are you gonna have the transgender where the kid can't even tell that this is going on because they appear to be female, appear to be male.
So coming out with a gay cartoon, gay superheroes.
In Robin, Robin is bisexual in one of them cartoons. In a comic book, I mean, they're gonna make him bisexual.
Oh, really? Oh.
Loki is supposed to be the gay one for the superheroes, but they have a superhero cartoon that's coming out. Wanda Sykes, she's gonna be on it. The one gay guy from Will and Grace. It's real. No, Jack. It's real.
Oh, gay. Yeah, Jack. Yeah, Jack.
I mean, I like him as an actor, and I like him in the show. So I'm gonna watch it. I don't know. It's here now, and what can we do about it? So this is what people's lives are. Their situations.
I'm intrigued to see how far Disney's gonna take it. I mean, I get it, and I think, there is a time, but it's like, how do we do that in Disney? And I think Disney has to be very careful not to start producing more adult-like content, because the whole purpose of Disney is for kids. Like, I really hope that Disney doesn't take away its innocence for kids. I mean, I know that
but that is innocent. If they can be heterosexual and that's called innocent, then they can be homosexual and that's called innocent. So that's the line.
I ain't saying nobody ain't doing nothing wrong, but I'm just trying to figure out, like, how far we gonna take it? Because I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with it. I like the fact that they're being inclusive, because I feel like everyone should be included, but I just want to see how they're really gonna go about it in stepping into it, because I don't think every single show needs to be that in your face. You know what I'm saying? And maybe they do should just more focus on let's save the day rather than princess and prince and mommy and daddy and mommy and mommy.
Yeah, which definitely is detrimental to heterosexual relationships, because it teaches you that the man is gonna always come rescue you no matter what you get in. So there's all kinds of false narratives being peddled through these cartoons anyway, you know, when it comes to relationships. So I don't know.
So we'll see what Disney does. We'll see how far it takes it.
A gay male actor playing a straight character. It doesn't matter. I don't think that matters. It's acting.
I don't think it matters. It's acting. I mean, anyone can act. Yeah, I think anyone can act as somebody else, and you know that's your craft. If you're an actor, then you know how to switch it up, and you're not really you. You know. So I don't know.
Yeah, they're straight characters playing gay people.
But to Raven Simone's, that's what we were talking about. I think good for her for wanting to keep her life separate from her work life.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so you know, as soon as we're on this train already, let's go all the way down it. Lil Nas X. We gonna talk about it. We gonna have some opinions on his latest thing, because you know it's like every week with him there is something new. And this week he's pregnant, so we're gonna talk about it and see what the ladies think.
And this week he's
about
pregnant.
A pregnant little Nas.
When did art become emulating something that a natural given right to a person? You can't help that you're a woman with ovaries and you become pregnant, and it's this beautiful thing. So it's kind of like, to me, I felt like it was making a mockery, you know, and maybe that's because I'm going through a process, so I'm viewing things differently. But the way to get there, and for you to go just take a picture and say I'm pregnant with an album, it's just, I think I don't know. I think it's hurtful to people. I think it's childish. You know, I think it's hurtful to people. And I think it's, you know, you're making fun or you're emulating or trying to recreate something that you absolutely cannot do. And let me not say that, because 10 years from now, when somebody pull this up, it's probably gonna be pregnant men. Ovaries and vaginas and all kind of uteruses and everything. So I don't know, but if you're born in a state where you can produce life, because every woman is not able to produce life, right? If that's something that you have and it's a gift that you have, why would you go emulate that? You know, in a way of freaking pregnancy photos. It's one thing to say, "Oh, I'm pregnant," or you know, write it out like "ha ha ha," ... with my new album. But to go recreate a photo shoot of someone who carries life. Carrying life is dangerous. Carrying life is not this funny thing or something you want to like mix up with a project, you know. Yeah. Like I just think that, and he probably wasn't even thinking that far, right? He's a kid. He's an artist. He's trying to be creative. But if you're gonna be creative, it shouldn't be at other people's, like, it shouldn't be detrimental to other people.
Right.
Yeah. And they said, who is that? Girl, right?
Look up Lil Nas X. If you haven't heard of him. The first image that's probably going to come up is of him pregnant, because that's what's trending right now.
He's the guy that made a dad with the devil. He's the guy that came out with shoes with blood, actually real blood in the shoes. He's the guy that was mocking Jesus in the last award show. He's the guy. He's that guy. That's who he is. And yes, he is gay. He's a part of the LGBTQ community. he came out and he is living his life.
He got that song. I got the horses in the bag. Can't nobody tell me nothing. That song. That's him.
All our kids are jamming too.
She said, "Oh my God, the devil is a lie, child." He took it there. He done made a deal with the devil, child. I can't. I told you something new every week with him, literally. Something.
And I get it. I mean, it's a way to make money. Like Nicki Minaj doing the None outfit, right? Doing like with her titties out and shit or whatever she was doing. So. You know, these people are, I don't know, they're being creative. They're pushing boundaries, I guess, which is not a bad thing in life because we're taught to live one way and be staged. But it's like when you're pushing boundaries, you need to be sure that you're considering all avenues, you know, once you do that, because you know you're basically saying like, I don't give a F, like, you know, I'm just out here. This is how I make my money. Deal with it. Like, you know, you're gonna hurt every community, right? If you do something. So I get it, but I just feel like pregnancy, especially now, like with the foods we eat, and you know the changes in the atmosphere that have a toll on women's bodies and things that. And all these women that are out there unable to conceive, for you to actually make yourself look pregnant as a man, in a state of a man, like put your wig on or something, like, you know, do something. But you finish the whole thing out here with a Photoshop pregnant girl.
Okay, you did a whole maternity photo shoot.
Yeah, that didn't even make me want to go listen to his music. Like that was just dumb to me. But maybe I'm, you know, I'm an old person, so maybe I just don't get down with the kids no more. I'm going over to my mama's them age. When I was young, where they were like, you know, I don't know what you kids are doing these days, but I can't stop it. But I just need to protect you from it, and we're gonna go on.
It was dumb. I agree. It was dumb, and it looked dumb, and it was a stupid dumb as hell thing I've ever seen. But you know, it's Lil Nas X, and I don't expect nothing but dumb, stupid things coming from his ass. So you know, I mean,
even if he would have kept his,
I agree, you have to be mindful.
Body, maybe just Photoshop like the album cover on his stomach or something, maybe. But he had a whole bump.
He just had a whole bump. That's what
he looking like he's out here.
Like he's really holding his bump, like he's pregnant. Like, and he's posing like maternity photo shoot.
And if anybody has ever been, that ain't nothing cute to be sitting there holding. This shit is painful. And sir, what are you over here doing? Like that's a bad whole stuff you don't even have down there, crushing and moving and arranging and shit. And here you are just sitting there, I can sit up. Some people can't even take their damn maternity pictures. They need 2 hours. They gotta pay extra because they gotta take breaks. They hurt. They sick. They're nauseous. It's too many lights. Like it's so much that goes into that people are out here, and he just gonna go. What's the next topic?
Oh
God, that's triggered. Okay.
Right.
Well, I feel like,
but go on, Nito. Yeah, you haven't said your opinion on it. Go on, Nito.
Yeah. I'm gonna be real quick. I'm gonna be in and out. I feel like that maybe he's probably trying to pander to pregnant men because there's not a lot of that being shown. So maybe that's the idea of it. What he was, 2 for 1, like. Yeah, because I think he has a lyric that says, "I'm pregnant with the industry's baby" or something like that. And so he used that with his announcement for his album coming out. And then also because he's gay, there are also pregnant men out here. Pregnant men.
What are they doing? Are they getting wombs put inside them or something so that they can carry a baby?
No, they're women, but
they still have their working parts.
Yeah,
I got you.
They still have their uterus and stuff like that.
They stopped transgenders.
They stopped taking their testosterone pills so they can still reproduce and stuff like that. But they still have their ovaries, uteruses, birth canal, all of that. They just identify as men when they're taking the testosterone medication. But then you still, I'm really not trying to make fun of anyone, but this is the reality. So you have them looking like men still, they still have their beards, they still have like their bone structure and stuff like that. But now even down to the chest, chest may get a little bit bigger because they producing milk. You know, from the neck down, they looking like a woman. Okay, but from the neck up, they still got their, face about them. So I guess that's what Lil Nas X was trying to do, like the 2-for-1 in that stance. And maybe some transgender men appreciated it for that reason. But I personally feel like you doing too much. You are trolling. This is what you do. All of his videos and his songs, it's like, how kids feel like at a certain time or in their life, they feel like they have something to prove, even though they've proven themselves to be.
Yes.
This is what I feel like he's doing, especially now since he's, out there doing his thing and people have been talking about him. He's like, oh, you're going to talk about me? Well, now I'm really about to give y'all something to talk about. He's pushing the envelope at every twist and turn just for the sake of pushing the envelope, because he can't, as a child, like what children do, they can't just take what's being given to them and then push it out. They have to make it big and make it. It don't really bother me. I'm good. Matter of fact, I'm finna show you how good I am, and they just be out there, being them, rather than just being like, you know what, you got it. It's really not that serious. And I feel like maybe when he gets older, he'll look back at this and be like, you know what, that was dumb. I don't know what I was thinking, or maybe he'll laugh at what he's doing now, like we all did when we were younger. We said things that we thought made sense at the time. We did things that we thought made sense at the time, and we were just all in 100 miles per hour, but 100 miles per hour is long. So maybe that's what he's going through at this point in his life, and he got support of whoever was supporting him. I think his mom and them supporting him on this bullshit too. So, excuse me, supporting him through whatever decision he makes in life. So that's where I'm at with it. He's a troll.
Yeah, I have no
every time I see him, I just keep trolling. I'm like, I ain't gonna try to.
I think he's just doing too much. That's all great that you got an album, but there's ways you could have done that, and I don't necessarily think that was the way to go. But your body, do you, honey?
Maybe.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop for a second. Not stop the show or anything like that. But we're gonna get a little serious for a second. This week and last week, we had 2 lives lost that we knew about in the social media. Mr. Greg Leaks and Mr. Michael K. Williams both passed away. Greg passed away from colon cancer. He finally lost his battle to colon cancer that he's been fighting for a long time. So it was beautiful to see his service this week, and our thoughts and prayers go out to his family and all his friends and loved ones, because Mr. Greg Leaks, everybody call him like the Godfather. Okay, he's the man of wisdom. He gonna talk to you. Everybody, you can't help but love Greg Leaks. Okay, so it was so sad when I found that out. I actually really did feel pretty sad about that one as well. And then we lost another great actor, and I mean talented, such a talented man, Michael K. Williams. And we lost him to what they're saying in social media right now is to be a drug overdose. So we just want to say our thoughts and prayers go out to his family and friends and all his loved ones as well. It's a hard time, man. We are losing some amazing people, and it feels like people are dropping like flies, and it's just awful and disgusting. But that also leads us into our next topic, which is Luenell and Joseline. So Luenell, like, you know, she was saying something, in a way, she was saying something nice. And she's basically trying to tell people, like, she's like, I don't want to see our brothers, you know, after Michael's passing, she was basically saying she doesn't want to see our brothers losing their life to drug overdose. Like, everyone needs to stay off the syrup and everything else, all the other names under the sun of what they call every damn thing, but basically drugs, okay? And Joseline got the word of the week triggered by Luenell's comment that she made on social media. Triggered, okay? And she went in for her. And, you know, Joseline is a wild cannon now. Anyway, so let's talk about Luenell and Joseline's beef with regards to what Luenell had said. I don't think there was anything wrong with what Luenell said, personally. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, ladies? I mean,
hit dogs holler.
Facts.
Empty wagons make a lot of noise.
You know, I mean,
I think she missed Luenell's point and was trying to take up for someone who passed in such, you know, ill manner, maybe, you know, I don't know.
Well, I don't think that, well, you know, Luenell wasn't saying nothing bad, though. You know, she's just trying to
well, when somebody just dies and then they say it appears to be an overdose and it's not, like, everything's not laid out, there's no toxicology, there's nothing, and then the first thing somebody else does is go hit the internet like, y'all need to stop this drinking, smoking, blah blah blah. Maybe she felt like, dang, let everything kind of play out and then maybe speak on it. But there's such a thing as too soon, I think, and I think that's where Joseline was coming from. I'm not a fan of her, but I'm trying to see her perspective. Maybe she just felt like it was too soon, that you're on the internet just like airing out this man, like nobody knew he was out here even doing it, and here you go. But on the other side of that, Luenell is like, no, it probably needs to be sooner than later before somebody else tonight tries to grieve for him, and they're out here doing their whatever new drug or other drug, and then they end up dead, like they say, you know, the same way. They end up the same way. So maybe she was just trying to just say, since there was heroin on the scene, and you know, she was just saying like, y'all don't, you know, just trying to give a word of advice. But yeah, I feel Joseline was triggered because we all know she's dibbling and dabbled in her own stuff. So, but I think maybe she felt like she was coming to his rescue and it just didn't work out for her. Because now you got T.I. out here like, I'm rolling with Luenell.
Yeah.
Like, what you want to do, roll up, sis. So,
yeah.
There needs to be that hard conversation had in the community about, in the community, I mean, not as far as Black people, but as far as that celebrity world where you're partying, you're drinking, you have a surplus of finances where you can kind of get into some things that most people can't, and you know, they don't have the kind of time and financial situation. So I don't know.
Like I said, hit dogs holler, and she was definitely hit, and she hit her in the worst way for her to react how she did. It was like, girl, it wasn't that serious. Like, for me, it was like, it wasn't that serious for you to go as far as she did with her reaction to what Luenell had to say.
Yeah,
I don't know how well she knew Michael Williams. Apparently, he was well known throughout the celebrities and stuff. Some people who said their condolences, who said that they knew him, I was like, dang, like it's been an outpour of celebrities talking about him. I didn't know that he Like everybody was talking about. I was like, damn, I didn't know that y'all knew each other like that. Like, oh, okay, like popping out left and right. So I don't know who all this man affected personally. And I don't know how close him and Joseline were. I didn't see her post anything about him. Maybe she was grieving and she couldn't do it. I don't know. However, I feel like it was just a bit much for her to go after Luenell that hard. Like,
yeah, like you fat pig eating can also
like, yeah, like it wasn't.
You need to put the plate down. I was like, woman,
it wasn't.
You could
that,
just be like, hey, it's too soon for all that. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that could have been it. But I mean, what do you expect from Joseline? She like you said.
oh, well, they did say Luenell did the reunion of Joseline's show or something like that. So there may be underlying
issues or beef.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But for her to go that far,
another place, like
yeah, for her to go that far, I was like,
yeah.
Serious. But I guess between the both of them, it maybe was that serious, and she had to say what she needed to say or whatever. But it was, to me, name calling at our grown adult age is really childish. Like,
Girl,
she
got on the scene. That's all she know to do.
Use your words, child. Use your words. She
don't have very many of them. This, so
her vocabulary is
it's just not.
She don't know nothing else. She can barely speak English. Anyway, that's let me not before the Joseline fans come for me. But I just feel like it wasn't that serious. But it all could have been very well too soon as well. But you know, with grief, you can get pretty messy when you grieve. Sometimes people know how to. I'm gonna say know how to grieve. Some people, everybody grieves differently. So maybe her form of grief with Luenell, maybe that was her like, man, you know, y'all, come on, we gotta stop this. You know, this is enough. Is enough. You know, because you lost DMX to drugs apparently. I didn't even know anything about his addiction if he had one.
I don't think anyone did. Yeah. He was very functional.
Yeah. So, but who knows what people do when they go home at night? Like, cause I didn't know that what's his name, Robin Williams, was even suicidal. You know what I'm saying?
I know that shocked me too. Yeah.
You know, so we don't know what people go home and do. You know, behind closed doors and when they're by themselves. So I can't say that he was that type of person, but I also just cannot put it past him because you just don't know what people go through, you know, in their personal lives.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Joseline, honey, chill out. Golly.
Right.
I didn't think of it from where Nick said, and when Nick came at it from a point of maybe she just felt that it was too soon. In that sense, okay, but Joseline didn't need to go as far as she did, and she was rude as hell, you know. And Joseline just sometimes I feel like Joseline be doing shit just so that she can have attention, like you know. It's not necessary for all of that, especially not right now in this time, you know. And Luenell, I think, was trying to do a nice thing. I don't think it had any malice behind it or what she was trying to do or say.
Yeah.
You know, that's why she's got celebrities standing behind her with this beef. So, Joseline, sit down, chill out, take a chill pill, honey, and wait till your next show on Love and whatever. Love and Hip Hop, maybe. I don't know. I don't even think she's on Love and Hip Hop anymore. I don't even know where Joseline is.
She has her own show, some cabaret. I don't know. I feel like it's a stripper show.
There we go. Okay, girl, do your thing on cabaret. Hey, we love it. Okay. You love it. We love it too. Okay, we're gonna talk about our final topic of the night. Oh Lord, child. And this gonna go deep for the women. Okay, so this one we're gonna talk about is the Texas laws that just got put in place by Mr. Greg Abbott. There are no words. So now we want to ban abortions in Texas after 6 weeks. So you can only get an abortion after 6 weeks, and therefore it won't be illegal. However, if you get an abortion after 6 weeks, well, before 6 weeks, sorry. So if you get an abortion after 6 weeks, then it's illegal and you can go to jail for this. Okay, ladies, that's first thing. And women are screaming about women's rights and, you know, whether or not we'll get to that in a minute though. Okay. And then his other law that is also creating some tailwind as well is how difficult he is trying to make it for voters to go and vote. So, having known the way that I guess Democrats vote, he is a Republican. I guess the Republicans or Greg Abbott are trying to make it more difficult for Democrats to vote by taking away 24-hour voting, drive-through voting. There's so many different things that Democrats have put into place that they have now gone in reverse in the state of Texas that you can no longer do with regards to voting. So it looks like the Democrats are getting targeted from these new laws. So that is another part of the new laws. Then obviously we have the one about the fact that who needs a license to carry a gun now? No, you can just carry a gun just because. Just because, don't need a license, don't need to be trained in how to use a gun. We can just walk free-nilly with any gun, doesn't need to be licensed. Yeah, that's another law. That's another law that got passed too. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. I don't even know the rest of them because these three have been the main ones that were in the news and that has caught a lot of attention. So we're going to talk about it, see our opinions on it, and see where we go with this conversation.
Expression.
And I have a funny feeling this may or may not happen, but for a part of this conversation,
is
we
what?
ain't gonna agree with Nick.
Exactly. There you go. There you go.
Like, for a part of this conversation, we are not gonna agree with Nick.
Girl, you was burning me up with your what's the prelude?
I see your face.
You were sitting there and you were like, I said, well, child. Okay.
Your face. It's about my face. Your face. That's all.
I'm looking down. You know, it's delayed on the computer, so I'm looking down. Woo.
Okay,
Go on, obviously.
I need to hear you first.
Obviously.
Yeah, let's let me go first. Maybe we will agree with her. Who knows?
No, you won't. Well, we're talking. First of all, let me just say this since you brought it up. You carrying a gun is a constitutional right that you cannot take away. So I do think that everybody needs to be packing out here. The license to carry the gun was a concealed thing to where you had to have a license to carry into Schlotsky with you or into the Kroger with you. But you can always, as a constitutional right, bear your arms because you never know, especially if you're a woman and you're single and you pumping gas at night and somebody roll up on you with a gun or something and they trying to rob you or something, and then you gotta, pull out your little 9mm, your little 45, they have a 38, I don't know. Pop their ass. Pop them. Don't you die out here behind no paperwork that's irrelevant because it's your constitutional right in the United States of America to bear your arms. Look at you.
But do you not feel that people are also going to abuse that? Let's be real.
No, because they already can have the gun to begin with. So what's so different about allowing them to carry? I'd rather know you packing and be able to physically see you packing than to not know because you have to hide it. So anybody in America can have a gun, but you, like me, I don't have a handgun license, but I do own a gun. and I have to keep it, you know, either in my car or in my home, right? I can't go out in public with it on my person, which is your body. I can't go out, you know, with it on me. But now, if somebody sees me packing, they're gonna be less likely to try me. So I think that they're gonna have these guns anyway, because you can own a gun without a license, as long as you're not a felon. Now let me not get too legal in here, so somebody can come back and sue me, and I'll be called to court somewhere. But if you're not a felon, you can have a gun, and you need to, because these people are out here doing all kinds of crazy foolishness. People have lost their jobs. People are losing their homes. People have nothing else to lose out here. So they're gonna go start taking at that point. Anyway, we're talking about abortion.
I mean, when it comes to stand your ground, when it comes to guns, stand your ground law don't work here in Florida for that. What's her name? I forget her name, but she shot 2 warning shots in the air.
Oh yeah, it was stuck in the jail.
Go to jail. So it don't work that, Constitution, bear arms and all that don't work here.
No, that's just to have it on you. Now they do get into them technicalities, right? Where it's like, were they a threat? Were they not a threat? That's something you got to answer after the fact. But I want to put your ass down. Like if I felt like you were a threat, I want to be able to put you down. And if I gotta go to jail behind saving my life, then I gotta go to jail behind saving my life. Now, that stand your ground, I don't know much about, because we don't have. I don't think we have it. We may have it in Texas. Vee'll have to help me with that, because I don't know if we do, because I hadn't heard of it until Zimmerman, and I was just like, "What is this?" And like, how can he can shoot somebody just because he's getting beat the fuck up for following somebody, but you can't shoot warning shots in your own home without going to jail? And it took her years to get out. I remember that lady. I forgot her name, but I remember that. It took her years. Yeah, and several attempts to get out, but
it was awful. But I know we're not talking about guns, but when you started talking about
being messy, Vee wanted me to talk about my governor. That's what she wanted to do.
I was not. Never.
Yeah, you did. That's what you was doing. You want me to talk about Greg Abbott. I am not an advocate for Greg Abbott. All conservatives do not fall in line with people. And I think I told y'all that the most messed up thing what turned me off from him was that he's, if y'all don't know, he's wheelchair bound. And he was in a car accident, and he had sued whoever made him disabled, that company. He sued them for some large amount, millions of dollars, right? It was
dead.
And so once he got once he got his settlement, he then went into law and wrote that you can't file for over, I feel like it's $30,000 for bodily harm or something like that. You can't file for over that amount. But he got somewhere in the millions in his settlement, collected his check, and then went back and penciled in a lot where you can't. He capped it out. I feel like it was $30,000 for bodily injury. It was something really crazy. After he cashed his check, after it hit the bank and the wire was approved, he went. So I was like, how dirty was that? Like, why? So if I get hit, I'm gonna get 30 grand, but you can get somewhere in 2-3 million. Like, so that's when I was
Why did he cap it?
Because of the insurance company. So how Republicans work, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. It's real dirty. It's dirty politics. It's never that, let me help you, let me get you where you need to be. It's like every man for himself, what you need and how can it benefit me? So that's what they do. And so he has some under the table kind of conversations and things going along. And these insurance companies were paying out a crazy amount of money. They were, for accidents that weren't like his. Like, so if you weren't wheelchair bound, like you get a hangnail in an accident, you could sue for $3 million, And so there did need to be a cap, but to cap it out so low after you just cashed the check for so much money, I think that's dirty. So he's been dirty. The people down here love him. I'm not sure why, but they love him. Yeah, I don't know why.
So they let him be governor, but they mad at Biden for being old. This man is in
Anyway, but so yeah, for abortion after 6 weeks, I don't know. That's always been okay. So there are health concerns with getting abortions, y'all. Like you,
right?
Somebody can go up in you and pull something out, and you may not get up. Like I don't know. I feel like 6 weeks. You better be peeing on the stick. You better be having your ovulation calendar. You better be having all kinds of stuff. You better be going to your doctor, getting your blood drawn. You can find out well before 6 weeks that you had implantation. So now you just need to change the game. But I do feel like this was a medical thing. I do feel like past 6 weeks is dangerous to have an abortion because you got to go in there and suck out and scrape out, and then you can kind of damage your internal organs or whatever you got going on for your next pregnancy that may come down the line, or you may not ovulate the same way, or there's medical things that go into it. So you don't need to have these procedures after a certain period of time. I hate both of y'all.
Listen, this is coming from somebody. I'm gonna put myself on it, okay? I have had 2. Okay. And I had a pregnancy. after I had a baby after the fact.
Do you know how far along you were?
I went down memory lane for a second.
You sure did. You spaced out.
I did, because it was so trifling because I tried to like set me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a different topic for another day. I'm not even gonna go there. But I had to be about 6 weeks. One of them was like 6 weeks, and the other one was like 9 weeks.
Oh wow!
Because I had to get the money up. Because and that's the thing too. I didn't have the money to even have a baby in the first place. You know, I'm just coming out of my divorce, trying to get back on my feet. So I had to get this money up. The things I had to do to get this money out,
and it was only at the time like $250.
Yeah.
$250. I don't know how much it cost.
But back when I did
it's like 7 something.
Yeah, like $600-700. Yeah.
My God.
It's an expensive procedure.
Yeah. Well, no, it was. Yeah. So let me, because my mind just keeps wanting to go back to that time. But after the fact, I did have another full-term pregnancy, and he came out fine. My body is fine, and I know I don't want no more damn kids, so I'm good. But if that law were to be in effect here in Florida, I would
Which it might be.
Which it might be, because they buddy. I would be SOL.
And I feel like
it's not like they're outlawing a period. It's a time period. So it's like,
but
from what time?
There are
women. There's a lot of women that don't even know they're pregnant at 6 weeks.
Well, you need to get to know. That's what we trying to let you know.
You need to know your body, okay? This is the point,
woman. I don't feel that. First of all, this is how
there's a window. You ovulate. Okay, go ahead, Vee. I'm sorry. I'm just talking.
No, you fine. But I'm just gonna say this. First of all, this is where we starting wrong. Okay, I'll be damned if any man is gonna tell me what I can or cannot do with my body. Okay, how I'm feeling, what I want, what I need for my body that I'm in. Okay, you can't take away a woman's right like that. Who the hell are you You ain't in our lives. You ain't living what we live every day. And I'm not saying whether, if I'm for abortions, against abortions, we have reasons. It doesn't even separate rape victims, incest victims. It doesn't separate any of that. So you're now forced. If you are in those situations, you're forced now to have a child by somebody that you didn't even want a child with. And now you have to carry that burden and that pain and remembrance of what happened for the rest of your life. How is that acceptable? That's what I want to know. I want to know how this is acceptable to anybody.
That's a good point. I go to the my body, my choice. Definitely. I feel that way. As conservative as I am, I feel that way. I don't get it too involved in, what folks are doing with anything. Like, I just worry about me and my bank account because I got to pay bills.
Facts.
Other than that, I get it. But I really feel like a lot of people they're going too long, and they're creating problems with their bodies and the way they reproduce. But that should be their choice. Like, maybe, I don't know, maybe you don't, but there's things out there to prevent you from getting pregnant. You can do IUD, you can do birth control, you can practice safe sex. So there's all these things in place. Now, for the younger generation, they don't think like that, right? They're not responsible enough at that point because they're so young. But I think the onus is on us to just be sure 6 weeks is enough time to find out, if you're pregnant. You ovulate 2 weeks before your period come on. So you should know well before, that
I don't know about that.
People just be walking. I don't get that. I never got that.
Some people have periods still. Some people still have
Some
periods
people
in
can.
early stages of pregnancy.
Some people can, but we gotta look at data on it too. Like, the statistics on it is that a lot of people are fucking up their insides because they're going to get these babies sucked out, and they're not able to carry because they keep using it as a form of birth control instead of using actual birth control. And so it's just a way. I think it's just a way to get people to do more preventative. Preventative maintenance, I guess I was saying, like, if I'm at a car, on themselves, where they don't have to go past. I think 6 weeks is enough time. I think if he was saying that it's not your choice, he would have said no abortions, period. But 6 weeks is a long enough time.
If he gonna do something like that, why he can't give 8 or 10? Why he can't give 8 or 10?
I don't know. But I think that's enough time. What you saying?
I don't think so.
I need to know the reason why. Like, why is this even
considerable? Because you force these women to have these babies. What if everybody's not in the same tax bracket to even have kids in the first place? Then you're talking about government assistance. You're talking about, food stamps and
more money coming from the state.
All the
money. What they're hoping is that these people are giving their kids to adopted families who are unable to conceive.
And that's another thing.
More kids in the system. Being
right.
Because they can't afford them.
System, though, right? That's like maybe more so fostering, but there are people out there who want babies that can't have them. And there are people out here.
A lot of kids that don't have families to go to.
Right. And that don't have nothing to do, I feel like, with abortion. Because there's people out here. My own son, I got one upstairs right now. Literally. Mm-hmm. So,
but then that goes to the kids too, like, because some kids carry that with them, like, why my mom and dad didn't want me, you know what I mean? So, I mean, some kids never grow out of that. Some, and they that's a whole nother trauma.
So that's why you get, that's why you get 6 weeks to decide.
Listen, well, I mean, not for me. I knew every time I was pregnant. Okay, I say this all the time. I knew every single time I was pregnant. So it you get 6 weeks, but then, like, for me, I couldn't really afford it, so I had to get my money up first.
And they did close down. To your point, they did close down the Planned Parenthood, who gone and knock that thing up out of you. But
see, I mean, there's other ways too. I mean, because you get
that's true. I found out the hard way. through one of my friends. I'm like, what the hell you going through? Yeah, and
but this
There's
isn't
natural
going too
remedies that you
far,
can use too
girl.
to miscarry. So it ain't always
Girl,
going to Planned Parenthood. But I feel like this. I feel like for one, it's very one-sided, and it's more, sided heavy on the women's side for, taking away the woman's right to have a kid.
yeah.
So to make it even, to make it even, okay,
mhm.
I feel like the men who got these women pregnant, sorry guys, should either get a vasectomy or they should
Yeah,
be forced to pay child support.
yeah.
I
Sorry,
I
agree.
agree
fellas.
with that.
Sorry,
I agree
fellas.
with that.
Just
I
saying.
agree with
It,
a
it
lot of
needs
stuff.
to be.
Yeah, we gonna say that for better of the sexes though. As a matter of fact,
Ooh,
So we're gonna
child.
say
They ain't
this
gonna
for
like
battle of
that
the
'cause they don't
sexes.
like paying
you
child
know,
support.
Hey,
real gonna definitely have something to say about that.
they
Baby.
gonna
Yeah,
be
it's like so
crying
Andrea.
in their boots, child.
So Andrea, yeah,
Mhm.
she said that she didn't know, or Andrea, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce, but she was saying that she didn't know till she was 8 weeks. So to
Right.
debunk my point, as I'm saying, you get 6 weeks, and she was like, her cycle was out. I didn't know till 8. So,
Everybody's
It
situation is
happens.
but see,
different.
so why do you have to wait on a period? Why ain't you, if you know you're sexually active, and you
Oh
know,
wait, hold on. Now you want us to spend money just for tests, just for the sake of it, just because we sexually active?
so
Hell no, just
Dollar
test
Tree
that
give
and
you them
enjoy it.
little pregnancy tests for $1, right? You need to go buy you 10 of them and put them under
For
your
what?
bathroom
They
sink,
sell
right?
them for $1? Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Yeah,
yep.
you can go
where
to the
they
dollar
sell
store.
those at?
You
Yeah,
can get
and so you
The
can
fuck
test
no.
yourself. You don't have to wait on a period anymore. This is not that.
no,
You
that's what
just
I'm saying.
need
If you gotta buy a pregnancy
But
test
you
for
can't
$1, you
even
should be
detect
getting
it
pregnant.
sometimes.
to. But it happens, right? Maybe they didn't have protection. It's so much stuff out there though, y'all, to prevent. Now we didn't have it back in the day. You got the Plan B. Oh, I love when them things came out. I was in high school.
Oh my God. Plan B is a lifesaver. Oh man,
Yeah,
I thought,
and you
oh
It
have
my
is.
regular
God.
birth control, you have the IUD, you have the patch, you have the shot. It's so much that takes you from popping one pill every day. You know, now you could go do stuff and give you 5 years where you don't have to do nothing. So like we're living in a different time,
But
y'all.
And
Where
that's another thing
but
too. They got
Nick,
all of this stuff for women, but what are the men taking? What are they doing? They just
girl,
nothing.
they taking
Hmm?
child support.
None.
They taking child support. Uncontested child support is what they taking.
That you know
Let me
what?
say
That's a
something
hidden
though.
trade.
If
That's a
they
hidden
were
trade.
some,
Wait.
if they were some, because you make you
I'ma
make
Hey,
it
say this
listen,
to
these
Nick.
$10 an hour type niggas ain't paying no child support for real.
This
facts.
is gonna go to Nick's point, right? You talking about how the abortion, stuff, the chemicals and things they put into your body is bad, and it's really damaging to women. But so can child what's it called? Birth control. Birth control can be that way too. You step on
Yeah,
it long enough, it can be very damaging. So we'd rather
it
people
Oh
can.
take
You're
yeah.
birth
right.
control
Oh, it
than
messed my
than
hormones all up.
I don't
My
think either
hormones.
or is better than the other
Yeah,
at
it
this
affected one
point.
of my family members. Yeah, she can't never have kids. She was on it for
Oh,
so long, and they diagnosed her where she can't have kids at all. Like
mm.
so, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a fine line. It's a percentage. I should have probably looked more into the data of things, like how how it affects people, because I really feel like that the Abbott don't have no reason to even care about this other than some lobbyists. And I don't know. I need to know what's the deciding factor. Why do you care? Like, their whole
Why
pro-life.
do they care?
Why do you
That's what
care?
I'm saying. Why? What's the why? What's the purpose? I
Yeah.
don't get it.
I don't understand their reasoning
Mm.
behind this law. I really don't. I can see what Nick is saying with regards to it's not safe to do so, but then I just think that more education needs to be given to women as to why it's so unsafe to do so at
Or
such a late
like
stage.
you just said, man
And the
need.
woman should make that decision.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
or
just
give the
think,
men a pill to make them not make their semen like not swim or something.
something. I mean, I just feel like there's some alternatives rather than taking away people's rights to
Yeah,
make a
Mhm.
decision
I can agree with
for
that.
their life.
I can agree with it.
So they need to get that together. I'm sorry. And I just can't stand. Let me keep my opinion to myself, child.
Yeah, because then it goes to Black people can't wear dreadlocks in the workplace, and or so yeah. That's kind of like the Disney thing, right? The whole Pandora's box of just telling you and not letting me be an individual and such. Yep. So I'll give you that. Y'all won this one. But
thank you.
But
I think that's a great note to leave it on.
It is. I'm carrying my guns though. I'm carrying guns. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to give me one more just because. God damn it.
I need to get me one though. Real talk. I need to get me one. Like I need to.
Do too. Yeah, you right.
We have some, but I don't have none personally. I need to get.
Yeah, you need a purple one.
Yeah. Absolutely. I see some too. I think I might.
Y'all, see, we all learn something. Sometimes we just have to put our heads together and we can have a conversation. Sometimes
and not argue and fall out.
And no argue or fall out. And sometimes, sometimes somebody else's opinion can actually open your eyes to think a little bit differently or a different way, even though you think you're set in your ways with your opinion. Sometimes it's nice to hear other people's views and to talk about it. That's what this show is all about, y'all. That's what it's all about. I just want to say thank you guys so much to everybody that joined us for Ladies Night tonight. We loved having you guys. We love having you a part of the conversation. Thank you so much, Andrea, as well, girl. I'm going to shout you out. You stay through. You were a trooper. You've been talking all night.
Yes. Thank you for coming.
Here, girl. Maybe you should join us 1 week up here. Let me know if you want to. And yeah, we're going to call it a night, but we will be back on Sunday for Battle of the Sexes with the men. Don't be crying, y'all, on Sunday. Hey, it is what it is. Okay, thank you guys so much. We love you, and night, y'all. Yes. Oh, Ajay, yes, we are all on Instagram.
Yes.
We are all on Instagram. Really? So my Instagram is Candidly Vee. Nick's Instagram is.
Let me put it in the chat.
Arctic Angels.
What's my name? Mama.
Which one is yours? I don't know which one you using now.
I'm trying to build this one up. So mama_goddess to you is my Instagram.
There we go. Yes. See you on Insta. All right then. We love you guys. See you guys next week. Well, Sunday. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Later.